We are Tottenham TV back here for the final transfer target video, and we are going to be focusing on strikers. As we know, we got Moani on loan. Richarlison, quite unbelievably, he's been the one that stayed fit most of the time. Dominic Solanke, who knows what is going on with him? Recent kind of ITK report saying he's going to be out for even longer now. They're saying potentially in another couple of months, but we don't know how true that is, but we'll see what happens. But look, there's been a lot of clamour in the fan base to sign another striker. I think we probably won't sign another striker this January transfer window, but maybe one for the summer.
No, if Richie keeps scoring, we won't.
But look, maybe it's someone that we can target, because Moani hasn't even scored a Premier League goal yet.
That's goes under the radar.
Yeah.
He hasn't. Yeah, he's still not hit the back of the net.
Yeah,
but he's played well. I think people are impressed by him, but he needs to get on the score sheet.
He's played well, but it's all good playing well. You need to put the ball in the back of the net as a striker. And look, he scored those 2 goals against PSG, didn't he? And great finishes, but we need to see it in the Premier League. But anyway, we have got 5 strikers to look at. First one is Frankfurt's Jonathan Burkardt, I think is how you pronounce it. He's having a phenomenal season with Frankfurt. They just signed him in the summer off the back of an unbelievable season from Mainz, scoring 18 goals in 29 games in the Bundesliga last year. Kind of like burst onto the scene last year, because before that he had a couple of like average seasons. In 21-22 he scored 11 in 34. But 25 years of age, kind of a late bloomer, it seems, in the German league. Last late bloomer we spoke about and turned up our nose at was Sergio Guirassy, and we've seen how that one's worked out. But yeah, I'm not sure what kind of a striker he is.
He's a bit of an all-rounder, to be honest. He's quite physical. He's about 5'11". How would I describe him? He's kind of like a... He's quite good with hold-up play, but he's a good finisher as well. 5 caps for Germany, so he's got on the international scene as well. He's kind of one that's surprisingly, I didn't realise that he has been linked with Tottenham before. It was in the summer. Apparently, there were rumours that we were looking at him when he was leaving Mainz. They said in the report that Tottenham would have to get Champions League football to convince someone like Burkardt to come. And I was like, okay, well, we haven't heard of him, and now all of a sudden we need to convince him of Champions League football, but.
Frankfurt never got Champions League football though, or did they? Oh, they are in the Champions League.
They are in the Champions League. He's got good hold-up play as well, and he's over the last couple of years he's got a pretty good goal-scoring record. But obviously, it is Bundesliga tax. We've seen players from the Bundesliga do well and recently and not do too well here. But yeah, I think he's one. I think we'll probably have our eye on. I would say because. The striker market is just not fantastic at the moment. Yeah,
the thing is with him is he only just joined Frankfurt, so does he want to give it a bit more time there? He obviously joined there for a reason. He went there to replace Omar Marmoush, essentially.
Ekitike.
And Ekitike, yeah, you're right, and Ekitike, and he's picking up the can pretty well for them in terms of the goals that he's getting. It's hard for me to make too much of a judgment on him because I've literally never seen him play, but his numbers definitely seem good. Next up is Omar Marmoush of Manchester City, obviously formerly of Eintracht Frankfurt, like I mentioned. After a stunning season, or stunning half a season at Frankfurt, getting 15 goals in 17 games in half a season, 9 assists as well, was just monstrous numbers, which was enough to get Man City to sign him. He kind of didn't obviously carry on that unbelievable form, but he did well in the second half of the season for Man City, scoring 7 goals in 16 games. This season, he's been struggling with injury, more or less a kind of squad player, bench player. Obviously, with Erling Haaland doing what Erling Haaland does, he's been pushed out to the left-hand side a bit more, which I don't think is where you get the best out of him. I think if Man City are willing to part company with him, I would love to see him at Spurs, because I think he's a lot better in the number 9 than what we've got. A lot better.
And he's kind of like, he was supposed to come in and replace Julian Alvarez. He's a fairly similar profile to what Julian Alvarez was before he left to go to Atletico Madrid. The problem I would have with Marmoush is if he came here and played up front by himself like some of our strikers have been doing, does he have the physicality to be competing up against 2 centre-backs and holding up and stuff like that? I feel like he'd be at his best when I think for Frankfurt it was the same, like he was in the front 2, him and Ekitike, and I think he really thrived in that. And I think playing off someone did him the world of good. And I think if he came here and played off of Moani, I think that partnership would be... Do they play together? Maybe at Frankfurt? I don't know, maybe not. But I think that partnership would thrive. Whether he's gettable, whether Man City are really seriously looking to sell him, is one thing. I think he's a phenomenal finisher. I think he's got the talent he has in his boots, finishing-wise, is great. He's a creator as well. I think he's a phenomenal player. I think for one reason or another, this season it hasn't just gone
they
right
played
for him.
one season together.
And that was Moani's best season, I'm guessing.
It was 23-24, yeah.
So that was when Moani.
So 23-24, Marmoush got 12 goals, 6 assists in 29 games. And 23-24, Moani got... No, actually, they played 2 games together. He left that season.
Okay. So they didn't play together. But I think Marmoush and Moani would be a brilliant partnership if we would develop a system to play that. And I just think he would be a phenomenal signing for us. I think he's got so much quality up front.
Yeah.
But I do question him in the lone front role. I don't know.
All right, that's Omar Marmoush. Next up is Jean-Philippe Mateta of Crystal Palace. We know since Glasner's come in, he has just been phenomenal for Crystal Palace. Such a physical striker. Has been scoring so many goals. And it's so weird, isn't it? Because before Glasner joined, he was just pretty much a flop player. Couldn't get in the team. When he was in the team, he was poor. Couldn't hit the back of the net. And it just seemed as instantaneous. Glasner comes in and suddenly this guy is one of the best strikers in the Premier League and hits the back of the net for fun. 28 years of age, that is a definition of a late bloomer. In the France squad now, scoring goals for his national team as well. Would you take him at Spurs?
Yeah, I would. And I think he's physical. What also surprised me about him is his ability to dribble as well. I think he's really good with the ball at his feet when he's one-on-one with a defender. Because he's so powerful, once he's got a yard on you, it's hard for you to get back on him, I feel.
Wrong one, that's Thiago.
And I think he's got really good shooting ability when he gets into the box. He's really refined his... He definitely goes for power more than finesse when it comes to his finishing, but it seems to be working for him. Obviously, he also is a danger when it comes to crosses into the box and getting headers on and stuff like that. I think he's developed into a fine striker since going to Crystal Palace, and I think he can come in and definitely score goals for us for sure.
It's mad, isn't it? I'm just looking at his goal returns. He was at Palace since 2021.
Yeah, no, it's mad, isn't it?
And he'd never got more than 5 goals in a season up until Glasner came in the 23-24 season. 16 goals that year, 14 goals last year, and he's already got 7 goals this season as well.
And it's amazing what a manager can do for a striker, and profiling them well or getting them to play in a certain way. He's playing under Hodgson before, who didn't have the best kind of counter-attacking system. But whereas I think Glasner much better.
Yeah. So that's Mateta. We all know what.
But it also goes to show for us, maybe if we had a different manager, who knows what our strikers could do. You know what I mean? That's a story there.
Next up is Samu Aghehowa, 21 years of age, 50 million, playing for Porto. We know he is one of the big up-and-coming strikers in European football right now, scoring goals for fun in the Portuguese league. But there is a caveat to that, because a lot of strikers score a lot of goals in the Portuguese league, and you see a lot of space there. You've seen the likes of Victor Gyökeres, who's struggling to settle into the Premier League. You're seeing Darwin Núñez, who scored a hell of a lot of goals in the Portuguese league. He struggled to settle into the Premier League and couldn't kind of replicate it. But I do feel like this guy's a bit different. I feel like this guy is ready to explode and ready for a big move.
I think the only caveat I would have is his hold-up play and his work rate. I think there are 2 things that definitely the jury's out on at the moment with him. I think he's exceptional when it comes to getting crosses in the box and him getting on the end of things. He is so hard to stop because he just physically overpowers you. He is an absolute unit. He's massive, and I think it's hard for defenders to stop him in those situations. And he's a really good finisher as well in and around the box. But his defensive numbers are not good. His hold-up play in terms of getting key passes or bringing other players into play, not very strong as well. So whether that's I don't know who you put that down to, but his all-round game maybe needs a bit of work. But in terms of being a penalty box striker, definitely really hard to stop.
And last but not least, we have got Igor Thiago at Brentford. Obviously, Frank signed him. Frank knows him well. Frank didn't actually get to utilise him too much because he was injured for the majority of the season that they did have together. But he's having a phenomenal season this year in the Premier League. Only 24 years of age. He's got 35 million market value. 11 goals already this season in the Premier League. However, he has scored about 5 or 6 penalties. 5 penalties in that. So
got to consider that.
I think that does obviously inflate his numbers. And if you take away the penalty goals, are we still talking about him in the same light? I'm not sure. Like, I think with Igor Thiago, I think he's a great positional sense, as in he always seems to be in the right place at the right time. He's very physical, but I don't think he's a kind of the most technical player. I don't think he's great technically.
Yeah, Frank said Richarlison's ahead of him when it comes to hold-up play, which is a bit of a worry, I would say, if Richarlison's ahead of you. One thing, if you look at his stats, he performs very well, is his defensive stats. Tackles, interceptions, tackles in the final third, tackles in general, really performs strongly in those metrics.
He's always getting himself involved in the defensive side, 100%.
So that's really good. I think he's clever when it comes to timing his runs as well, beating the offside trap. I think he's quite good at that. He's physical, he's strong. I think when I see some of his finishes, he had some really good ones, like the one against Man United. I remember that was a brilliant finish. But I don't know if technically he's like phenomenal in terms of being one of the top strikers. I don't think he's at that level.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I'm conflicted with Igor Thiago because something tells me that he's come into the Premier League, hit the ground running, scored plenty of goals, and which has carried on in every country that he's played in. But then I think about it and being like, if Frank genuinely believes Richarlison's got better hold-up play than Igor Thiago, then I don't know, man. That's not great, is it? It's not great at all because Richarlison ain't the best at hold-up himself. So I'll probably decide against it, to be honest. I'm not sure if he suits Tottenham. I think he suits Brentford very well. But at Tottenham, I'm not so sure. But anyway, out of those 5 players, who is your number 1?
I think the best player on that list for me is Marmoush. So I'd love to bring him in. If that's not attainable, I think Mateta's contract is running out, isn't it?
Is that right?
I think so. Is it not running out in the summer? I think he's either got 18 months or he's got 6 months.
So his contract run, he's got 1 more year.
1 more year. So maybe try your luck with Mateta and see if we
apparently he's not signing.
If he's not signing, but then again, I think Glasner would probably head explode if they would sell Mateta.
Glasner's going at the end of the season anyway, I think.
So I think Mateta maybe, and then obviously Samu. I think Samu's someone who's young, maybe the highest potential on the list.
Yeah, I think Marmoush is one. Like I agree with you with Marmoush, the highest quality player, but I think Samu would be one that would really excite the fans, in my opinion. High ceiling. So those 2 would be top of my list. Next would be Mateta. I have no idea about the German striker Burkardt. I've just never seen him play, so I need to see a bit more of him. Thiago would probably be at the bottom for me. But let us know. Are there any other strikers that we missed out that you would like to see Tottenham sign in January or even the summer? Let us know in the comment section below. I think Mateta is definitely attainable in the summer once Glasner goes and he goes into the final year of his contract, because we know what Palace do, they sell. So if he's refusing to sign, they don't want the Aghehowa situation again, do they? So Mateta could very well be on the move of Palace. But look, let us know your thoughts in the comment section below. Like, subscribe and comment, and as always, come on you Spurs.